leading initiatives. Actually, let's talk about that, Peter. Like that is, um, there might not be leading and taking initiative is really crucial. Or actually, in the interview, you want to figure out a way where you can convey that, hey, I'm not a business analyst. I'm going to come there and sit for people to tell me, because that doesn't happen. You literally have to think 5, 10 steps. You're not going to have a mentor, somebody come, and you actually have to go ask, right? You have to take that initiative. Developers are not there saying that, oh, like Vivek's going to come join in as a BA and we're going to go and mentor him and help him out. That's
Yeah.
not how it works, right? So one of the things that I've done, when I've mentored other BAs, is to really not just say in the interview, but this is the actual mindset that you will need to thrive on the role, right? So I make it a point to say, there's so much of unknowns, right? When you join a new team, there's so much dynamics, there's new products, there's so much to learn, there's so much unknowns. And one way that I have done to help the process of learning is just took a lot of initiative. It means, reading what already exists, it's going to the Jira, learning about their product backlog, looking at last few sprints, what was delivered, asking a developer like, oh, what did we release last in the last few release? If it's app, going at and looking at the release notes, because I can find out what was released. Looking at if it's a product that I'm interested in, which is, like if you're going and interviewing for a company, you probably want to be interested in their product line, downloading that app, maybe even creating a test dummy account if it's not like a financial product where you cannot do that. If it's a user, if it's something that you can create an app, I'm going to go and like create my account. I'm not going to wait for somebody to do that. The whole thing that I would do these things is because when I go and ask some questions to the developers or team members or stakeholders, I want to just let them know that, hey, I have taken initiative. I have done things from my part. I didn't want to assume too many things, but I've done this, and this. It was really interesting. I might even like share like, hey, this was really interesting. This last release, how did it go? So that immediately like developers will know that, hey, like this is a proactive person. This is somebody who could be actually useful for the team because somebody's taking the initiative. So those are things that I will prepare some bullet points on how I have taken initiative in the last few projects. Anything you wanted to add on that?
Yeah, in the interview and then actually executing in your role, you want to make sure that you communicate how you are good at aligning on what the most important thing is to focus on. Because as a business analyst, there's always a thousand different things you could do, right? You can reorder the backlog. You could gather requirements, develop user stories. You could create a dashboard in Jira to see what are, different statistics or data points on your sprint and velocity. There's a lot of things that you can do. But what is the most important thing to drive, let's say, the product roadmap in order to create success? And that's where you want to spend your time, because we can spend our time doing a lot of different things. But in my experience, when I've worked with business analysts who are the most successful, don't feel overwhelmed and are able to really drive initiatives and really lead, is they're very, very good at understanding where they should, of all of the things that they could be working on, what should they be working on?
Yeah.
And so conveying that is really important. And also you can get also implementing the Pareto principle as a business analyst. So you could analyze, like, let's say you're gathering requirements and you are 80% of the way there. You might, that last 20% might take you alone, an extra 10 hours to understand the user story, everything about it. Take it to the team and talk about that, because when you get to that point and when you're able to fold time in that way and you're able to now be efficient with your time, it's going to make you a much happier business analyst. And ultimately, it's going to allow you to create a better work environment and actually do your job just a lot better. And so those are a couple skill sets that you can convey in an interview. And how do you share that? Well, you talk about a way that you've done that in the past and maybe what you've learned in the past. Those are definitely things that I've done in an interview, but then going into the role, actually executing that is vitally important. Otherwise, you're someone who's up till 10 p.m. at night because you were spending all day working on a Jira dashboard that people may or may not look at.